It's the penultimate day before the actual day of counting. I'm Barkha Dutt. You're with the Mojo story. Let's get straight to our exit poll special programming. Over the next 2 hours, we'll be looking at the different numbers coming from different polling agencies at the 5 poll-bound states. It's a set of elections that is considered the semi-final before the big match of 2024. And there could be some surprises yet. Health warning, these are exit poll results and not actual results. But there are many, many big questions at the end of these elections. Will there be a north-south divide? Will Bhupesh Baghel manage to be the incumbent Congress chief minister? Can the Congress stop KCR from a hat trick in Telangana? Can Ashok Gehlot do something to maintain Rajasthan, or can the BJP win it even after sidelining Vasundhara Raje? And in Madhya Pradesh, where Shivraj was not projected as a chief ministerial candidate, is the state for Kamal Nath to take? What will be the impact of Manipur on the Mizoram election? So many questions, and some answers are beginning to come as we look at the poll of polls, but also what individual polls are saying, because they often do not say the same thing. Before we take you to the numbers, and we'll be going state by state, let us introduce our panel of experts who are going to take us through these numbers. Rahul Dev, veteran editor, is with us. Namaskar, and always good to see you. Rahul, our in-house political pundit and analyst and psephologist, Professor Karthikeya Batra is with us. Always a pleasure. Great to have you back with us, Karthikeya. Also joining us from Rajasthan today, senior journalist, resident editor of the Dainik Bhaskar in the state, Mukesh Mathur. Namaskar, Mukesh ji, and bahut bahut dhanyawad aapka. Also joining us from the Congress is his spokesperson, national spokesperson, Gautam Seth. Gautam, good to have you back with us. And also joining us is Anurag Naidu, political analyst and commentator. And I can see right on cue, Asif Bhamla, the national spokesperson of the BJP, is with us. He's just stabilizing his shot. Welcome to the program, Asif Bhai. And let's get straight to the first state where we do have a broad trend. And that state, can we just mute the guests while I'm trying to go through the numbers? And that state, no surprise that state, no surprise, is the state of Chhattisgarh. Let's take a look at the numbers right away. And let's bring up the slide now. Can we look at the numbers from Chhattisgarh? And while we're waiting for that, Karthikeya, any guesses as to what's going to happen? I'm just waiting for that slide to come up. Karthikeya?
Barkha, I'm not sure if the Congress is as happy as you are, because I think
I am just happy because I enjoy election programming. That's all.
I'm just saying that. Let me rephrase.
I have no other skin in the game.
As confident as you are, because look at these numbers, right? This is not even close to what you thought, say 2 months or 3 months back. This is calling it really close. In fact, most of these exit polls are giving you overlapping figures. APPC voter, the agency I'm representing today, we are giving overlapping figures. Axis My India, when I say overlapping figures, look at the fact that either of the two could cross the 45 mark. Of the 5 polls that you have shown here, I can see only 2 times now ETG that are predicting a clear victory for the Congress, which means the BJP has caught up, something that we were saying in our tracker for a long time. The primary reason being, in 2018, the Congress benefited a lot from the presence of third parties, independents, etc. Their vote share jumped by approximately 6 to 7 percentage points. So this is not the sort of sweep that one was predicting for the Congress in Chhattisgarh. In fact, if at all, from my understanding, as I've spoken to BJP sources, they tell me that the local leadership of the BJP was trying to convey to the central leadership that swing into action quickly. This state could be won. But I think Mr. Baghel did a Modi in that sense, that he convinced the central leadership of the BJP that come what may, I'm going to win this state again. So they were not
Karthikeya, maybe the margins, at least going by the polls, are not as big as you would say. But if you look at the poll of polls, it's a comfortable win for the Congress, and a win is a win, right?
I agree.
You could quibble. You could say this is not a sweep, and in fact, I just got that banner corrected on our screen because it's not a sweep.
Exactly.
But it's a win. It's a win. Bhupesh Baghel is if these exit polls are correct, is all set to enjoy a second term as chief minister.
I agree,
right?
But all I'm saying is that who are you benchmarking it against? If you're benchmarking against popular perception, this is downhill. Probably the Congress knew better the Congress knew that this was its situation, and for them probably it's a handsome victory. But all I'm saying is the majority, the margin is tenuous. It's not as strong as it was. I think the Congress would only breathe easy if it crosses the 50 mark. Anything between 45 and 50 makes the majority a little tenuous, right? And so internal politics within the Congress then heats up a lot more. That's something that you saw in Rajasthan. So I would say that if this is true, congratulations to Mr. Baghel, and there's no reason why we should not believe in these numbers. Congratulations to Mr. Baghel, but this is not the sort of sweep that we were predicting or expecting.
Let's for a moment go back to the individual polls, Karthikeya, and then I'll open it up for the audience. Can we go back to the slide where we look at how different agencies have actually looked at the state of Chhattisgarh? Right now, if we have 5 major polls on our screen, right, and every one of them is giving. There's a kind of uniformity when it comes to Chhattisgarh, Karthikeya. It's 36 to 48, 36 to 46, 32 to 40, 34 to 40 for the BJP. And almost everybody is giving, mid 40s to early 50s, except for today's Chanakya, which is giving Congress a handsome 57. So why would you say the Congress would not be happy with this if this is the actual verdict, if the verdict actually follows this?
I'm saying, Barkha, as I said, I'll rephrase it, that it depends what you're benchmarking it against. If you're benchmarking it against the perception that Mr. Baghel is this very strong chief minister, which I believe he is, then Congress would have been saying that, okay, 55 plus, let's say. But if you end up somewhere between 45 and 50, that's just a victory. That is not a handsome victory. But that's still kudos to the Congress because they're repeating the government. So all I'm saying is, it is about expectation management. A lot of us in Delhi and other parts of the country thought that this is one-way traffic, Chhattisgarh is going one-way traffic, but that's clearly not the case. And I gave you the reasons why this is happening. But I would still say it seems that conventional wisdom suggests that Congress is winning. And a win, as you rightly said, even by 1 seat is a win. And I think Mr. Baghel and his party and the workers deserve all the credit for the same if this is what happens.
Okay, let's actually open this up. I'm hoping Mr. Bhamla can hear us, but let me get first comments from Gautam, because Karthikeya said the Congress will not be as happy looking at these numbers that you expected, even more. But if I put on my glasses to see the poll of polls, it looks like a pretty comfortable victory for you guys. If this is the actual result, first thoughts, what did Bhupesh Baghel did right that the Congress will take away from these results, if these are indeed the results? Gautam, it's over to you.
In these elections, all through these 4 states, there was a uplifting kind of a feeling that the narrative of the political scenario of the nation is moving from polarization to pro-people and pro-development politics. And that shift, which Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra had initiated in the country, has kind of taken a level up. With the result of these elections, we saw what happened in Himachal. We saw what happened in Karnataka. I was very much with a show on you when the Karnataka results were being declared. So overall, all I want to convey today is that this is a shift in the degradation of politics that was done by the Bharatiya Janata Party and the RSS. Now the politics is getting back to what it should be. People are talking about issues. It is becoming more issue-centric. And Bhupesh Baghel ji, with his excellent administration, with sticking to delivering what he committed in the manifesto when he came to power the last time, has certainly shown that anti-incumbency can be converted into pro-incumbency if the chief minister performs up to the expectations of the people. We were sure of these numbers. We are sure that the Congress is going to be above 50. That is what our internal figures are clearly indicating.
Above what? Above what? Strangely, you went mute when you were naming the number. Above what?
I'm saying above 50 is what the above Indian 50. National Congress's internal figures are easily conveying. And it is, not just Baghel ji, it is the whole Chhattisgarh party unit. It is Rahul ji and Priyanka ji and Khadge ji's extraordinary hard work that they have put in every state this time. And all of us Congress workers, we are proud, we are inspired that we are representing a legacy of leaders who are bringing back the nation's politics to pro-people and development-oriented issues.
Okay, let me get first comments from Asif Bhamla, the national spokesperson of the BJP. In many ways, this was expected, and something very strange has happened in these elections. I feel the Congress has borrowed from the old BJP's playbook by creating a set of strong regional leaders, and the BJP is borrowing from the old Congress playbook by actually sidelining all of its state level leaders. So Raman Singh was there in this fight, but he wasn't really there. If these exit poll numbers are correct, Asif Bhamla, how disappointed would the BJP be? And let's try and go beyond the usual. Every party believes the exit polls when they're good for them and doesn't believe them when they're bad for them. How do you see Chhattisgarh, Asif Bhai, if you can hear me?
Yeah, hello. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me?
I can. I certainly can.
Okay,
Go
great,
ahead.
great, great, great.
Yes,
So
yes.
nice to see you, Barkha. It's been a long time, but
Yes.
to begin with, let me tell you that we have to take the exit polls with a pinch of salt. Not that the exit polls are not exhibiting good performance for the BJP. Certainly, there are. If you see. Overall, I mean, more exit polls are with and for BJP doing much better. Whether we form a government or we don't form a government is certainly an issue which, of course, will know on the third. But wherever governments have not been there. Like now, in a case like this, when you talk about Chhattisgarh. So Chhattisgarh is, it was a hot favorite of the Congress when it started off the campaign. Of course, it had Baghel there, and everything was in place for the Congress. That was, in fact, amongst the four states. You had two states where the Congress was in power, and of course, as you know, this was one of them. But they talk about, when elections come, they change their stance. You see, when
So
we do.
this is an important point. I'm sorry. I'm only interrupting to make your point. You have
Yeah,
spoken
yeah.
about how even though the BJP may not form the government, it has improved its performance despite the fact that Raman Singh has been a very low-key face of the campaign. And I just want Karthikeya to briefly come in. I need to go to Rahul Dev after that. How do you explain that? Because in some
I've not
ways,
been able to give my full input on this,
all right,
Barkha,
all
actually.
right,
So
all right.
if I can get 30
Okay,
more
all
seconds,
right.
yeah.
Okay,
You
30
see,
more
like
seconds. Okay.
for in a situation like this, from the last 2 months, the situation, as I said, for the BJP, even in Chhattisgarh, has changed. I don't know. I'm not very fully updated on what were the number of seats that the BJP and the Congress had. Of course, I was just in some other thing.
Yeah,
So,
no
but I
problem.
think it is showing us a better outcome than what it was in the last election of whatever exit polls you are showing us to. But you see, when Bharatiya Janata Party talks about Hinduata, when we talk about Hinduata, then we become communal. But if you see in Chhattisgarh this time, it was a full-on, a soft Hinduta push that Baghel resorted to. If you say the 3-day Ramayana National Cultural Festival that he did, building a Ramvan Gaman tourist circuit, then the Kaushalya temple in Raipur, we're not against that. But only when it comes to election, you change your narrative and you're fine with it. But when we talk about this, we become very communal. We become people, who are totally pseudos,
Sir,
So that is something which needs to be
I must
corrected,
come in. I'm
Yeah,
raising my hand to I'm raising my hand to come in now because I want Karthikeya to
please.
briefly explain before we go to the politics of this. The BJP, can I look at the slide which shows the swing? Asif Bhamla makes the correct point. The BJP, according to the polls, isn't going to form the government, but despite not having a strong chief ministerial face, despite Baghel playing the soft Hindutva card, the BJP has improved its performance per these polls. Karthikeya, quickly.
There are two primary reasons, Barkha. One is that when 68 MLAs come in, not every MLA is, 24 karat gold. So, of course, there'll be poor performers and good performers. So, a lot of the MLAs carried local anti-incumbency with them. The second more important factor is a mechanical, mathematical factor, which is that look at 2013, where the non-BJP, non-Congress vote bank was 18%. That jumped to 23-24% in 2018 because the Jogi Congress and the BSP were in an alliance, and the BJP propped up independent candidates in several constituencies with the hope that they would eat into the anti-BJP vote. That ended up actually backfiring. Now, given today's scenario, all that has come back to equilibrium. which is that a lot of that the non-BJP, non-Congress vote has gone back to the BJP. And even though the Congress is leading ahead of the BJP has made gains vis-a-vis 2018. So that is what is reflecting in these numbers, and it is not surprising because the C-Voter Tracker had been saying this for months now, that it might seem that Mr. Baghel is in sort of not defeatable, and this is going to be it is going to be a very tall task for the BJP. And within the BJP, I can confirm to you, sources told me that the state was trying to convince the national leadership that there is a fight here, but perhaps they were not convinced about it. Which is why I'm saying Mr. Baghel projected such a strong face that
you're saying you're saying the BJP did not fight its best fight. If they fought harder,
absolutely not.
The tale these numbers tell is that something more could have been achieved.
Absolutely not. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mukesh, you wanting to come in? Mukesh ji, please boliye. Mukesh bhai.
नहीं, छत्तीसगढ़ की बात चल रही थी, तो राजस्थान पे आ जाएं, फिर मैं बात करता हूँ।
ठीक है, मैं राजस्थान 2 मिनट दीजिए, थोड़ा छत्तीसगढ़ की बात कर लेते हैं, उसके बाद राजस्थान पर भी पहुंचेंगे। राहुल, लेट मी ब्रिंग यू इन। भूपेश बघेल, going by the polls, Bhupesh Baghel might well be the only incumbent chief minister to get a second term. We don't know what's going to happen in Rajasthan yet. Rahul Dev, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you. And from the poll of polls, it's clear that BJP has improved its position substantially, even though it may not cross the majority mark. But the situation is not as bad as was earlier understood by most of us in so far as Chhattisgarh is concerned. I think the Mahadev app controversy and the charges have had an effect on Congress prospects, and especially personally Bhupesh Baghel's image. He has not been able to dispel the impression completely to the satisfaction of people, it seems. BJP has despite Raman Singh being a weaker, I would say, challenger to Bhupesh Baghel, the overall party, especially party leadership, Narendra Modi himself and other senior leaders, they campaigned very extensively. The central support to Bhupesh Baghel in terms of major big leaders wasn't as much as the BJP had. So he has maintained his lead clearly. I think he will form the government, but he's not going to be a very comfortable majority.
Okay. I'm interrupting you to say that the numbers have begun to come for Rajasthan as well. We are having individual polls that are predicting. We have the Republic TV poll predicting a BJP win in Rajasthan. There are other polls coming in as well. Mukesh ji, let me just get first comments there, and then I'll come to Gautam as we get more numbers. Mukesh ji, आप राजस्थान की इंतजार कर रहे थे. पहली पोलिंग एजेंसी बीजेपी को जीत दे रही है. दूसरी भी Axis and Republic TV are both predicting a BJP win. Can we please have the numbers?
No, I'll correct you. Access is not predicting a BJP win in Rajasthan, actually. Access is actually giving BJP 80 to 100 and Congress 86 to 106. This is one of the biggest stories of the day, I think. 80 to 100 to the BJP and 86 to 106 to the Congress. And C-Voter is still releasing the numbers sequentially, so I can't comment on that right now.
Okay, all right. So then let's put the numbers, please. I need the numbers to actually be able to talk about them. If somebody could put the numbers, on the banner. In the meantime, before I come to Mukesh Mathur, let's just listen to Ashok Gehlot. Will the Congress manage to pull off a neck-and-neck fight, as Karthik is suggesting? The Axis India Today poll is suggesting. Republic TV, in the meanwhile, predicting a BJP win in Rajasthan. Let's listen in to Ashok Gehlot.
देखिए एग्जिट पोल कुछ भी आए, सरकार कांग्रेस की बन रही है राजस्थान के अंदर। 5 राज्यों में बीजेपी कहीं नहीं आ रही है। 5 राज्यों में मुझे लगता है बीजेपी कहीं जीत नहीं रही है, नंबर 1। नंबर 2, राजस्थान के अंदर एग्जिट पोल कुछ भी आ जाए, सटोरी कुछ भी कह दे, आप लोग कुछ भी दिखा दो मीडिया वाले, और सर्वे कुछ भी आया आपकी मीडिया के अंदर, जो प्री पोल सर्वे आ चुके हैं, तब भी मेरा हंच कहता है, जो मैं कमेंट सुनता हूँ लोगों से, आम लोगों से, गांव में, शहर में, पिछले 6 महीने से, उससे मुझे लगता है सरकार हमारी आनी चाहिए, बस मैं मानता हूँ।
Okay, I need this slide to change to the Rajasthan numbers. Give me any poll, because at this point, what is happening is that Axis My India is predicting a Rajasthan win to Congress, and Republic is predicting a BJP win. Go ahead, Kartikeya. Go ahead,
Barkha,
Kartikeya.
C voters numbers are finally out. I'm sorry,
Yes.
Mukesh ji, I've cut you short like twice. I promise I won't do this again. But BJP 94 to 114, Congress 71 to 91, others 9 to 19. Barkha, dead heat. And I can also add to this, there are 44 seats, because now I have the authority to talk about this now that the numbers are out. 44 seats where non-BJP, non-Congress actors are spoiling or making the game for either of the two parties, which is why this is so close. This is Mr. Gehlot's life fight of his lifetime, and it seems that he has given the BJP a very tough fight. So 71 to 91 and 94 to 114. It seems the BJP is ahead, but it is close. And again, that 9 to 19 figures of others, and plus the dent that they may have caused to individual candidates of the Congress and the BJP within the specific seats, is something that probably is one of the biggest stories of the day.
Okay, so we have a situation here where one major poll that has often got it right, that's the Axis India Today poll, is predicting a win for the Congress in Rajasthan. The Republic TV poll predicting a win for the BJP, and we're waiting for the exact numbers to come up on our slide. But let me start getting reactions. Mukesh ji, आपसे शुरू करती हूँ. Mukesh ji.
जी, तो अशोक गहलोत जी जो कह रहे थे कि आपके पोल हो या आप जो कह रहे हैं वो सारी जो चीजें हैं वो एक तरफ है, और लोग जो कह रहे हैं वो कह रहे हैं कि भाई कांग्रेस जीत रही है। पर अशोक गहलोत जी की जो बॉडी लैंग्वेज थी, उनका जो चेहरा, जिस तरह से वो जिस आत्मविश्वास के साथ हमेशा बोलते हैं, वो वाला चेहरा उनका नहीं नजर आ रहा था। 5 पोल हैं, जिसमें से एक आज तक और एक्सिस पोल ने कहा है कि भाई कांग्रेस आ रही है, कांग्रेस की गवर्नमेंट आ रही है। बाकी सारे पोल जो है वो भाजपा बता रहे हैं।
ये आप नंबर्स प्लीज देखिए, एक मिनट, आप नंबर्स देखिए, आप नंबर्स अलग अलग पोलिंग एजेंसीज के हमारे स्क्रीन पे हैं। कार्तिकेय, इज देयर एनीथिंग रॉन्ग हियर, एनीथिंग मोर दैट यू हैव दैट वी नीड टू अपडेट?
No, I think this looks correct, Barkha. We will probably project the poll of polls in just a second. We are working on the numbers on that.
But if you look at this, I just want to make the point कि इसमें सिर्फ एक
इंडिया टुडे एक्सिस
इंडिया टुडे एक्सेस है, और वो भी एक क्लियर विन नहीं है। कार्तिकेय, you want to make sense of the numbers for us here, please?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Barkha. This is, again, when it starts overlapping, then that means that it is very difficult to draw trends. So what happens is that you take a sample of voters and then you try to project. So see, calculating vote share is the exact science, but the extrapolation to seats is the art of this process. And that art is the more complicated one. And the moment the fight turns into a triangular fight or a multipolar fight, the independents come in, chota parties come in, that process becomes really, really messy. I can tell you because I've done this firsthand. So both ABP C voter and Access My India, if you see, the ranges are overlapping, right? I mean, although it seems that C voter is giving the Congress, the BJP a clear edge, where the starting point is 94, Congress ends at 91, whereas Access is calling it even closer. Access is saying 80 to 100 bhi ho sakta hai BJP ka, Congress 80 to 106. So actually, Access is saying I can't call it. C voter is saying I can call it. We are saying we can call it. But
would it be fair? Would it be fair to say most polls predict a BJP win in Rajasthan, except Access, that is saying it is going to be an impossibly close election to call? Yes. I think that is the accurate.
And Barkha, it will be unfair of us to today not talk about that others category. And Mukesh ji will shed more light on this. This others category is not just relevant in terms of seats that they get, but also how many seats they have dented for the Congress or the BJP.
ओके मुकेश जी, अभी हमारे पास नंबर है, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट राजस्थान। मैं फिर दोहराती हूं कि मेजॉरिटी ऑफ पोल्स बीजेपी को जीत दे रही हैं, लेकिन एक पोल है इंडिया टुडे एक्सिस माय इंडिया जो कहता है ओवरलैपिंग नंबर्स हैं, जिसमें अपर एज ऑफ दैट फोरकास्ट इज टू द कांग्रेस 106, बट इम्पॉसिबल टू कॉल। आप क्या कहेंगे?
कह रहा था, मैं अपनी बात पूरी नहीं कर पाया था। अशोक गहलोत जो कह रहे थे कि भाई पोल अपनी जगह है और जनता जो कह रही है वो अपनी जगह है। पोल भी दरअसल आम आदमी जो कह रहा था उसी से बने होंगे, उसी से आए होंगे। तो उनकी जो बॉडी लैंग्वेज थी, उनका जो कहने का तरीका था, उसमें बहुत ज्यादा आत्मविश्वास नहीं दिख रहा था, पहली चीज। दूसरी चीज, आज बयान आए जो कांग्रेस के, वो देखिए। अशोक गहलोत जी ने कहा कि अगर ध्रुवीकरण नहीं हुआ, अगर धर्म के नाम पे वोट नहीं हुआ, तो हम जीत जाएंगे, हमारी सरकार बनेगी। उनके एक प्रमुख मंत्री हैं खाचरियावास, उन्होंने कहा कि आखिरी कुछ दिनों में ध्रुवीकरण हो गया था, अगर ईमानदारी से मतदाता ने वोट दिया होगा तो कांग्रेस की सरकार आएगी। तो कुल मिला के उनका जो कैंप है कांग्रेस का, अशोक गहलोत जी का, उसमें वोटिंग के दिन से ही एक नेगेटिविटी या एक इस तरह का फील, एक इस तरह का है कि भाई हमारे हाथ से कुछ हद तक चुनाव जा चुका है, पहली चीज। दूसरी चीज, सारे के सारे जो रिजल्ट हैं, जो एग्जिट पोल है, वो बीजेपी दिखा रहे हैं। और जो आप कह रहे थे कि जो अदर्स वाला जो नंबर है वो हमेशा राजस्थान में क्रूशल होता है, इस बार भी होगा। अगर कन्विंसिंग विक्ट्री अगर बीजेपी को नहीं मिलती है तो ये अदर्स वाला एक जो नंबर है ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट होगा। तो ये ओवरऑल सिनेरियो है
जी। ये
Barkha,
बहुत
Barkha, the happiest person in Rajasthan would be Miss Vasundhara Raje. I can tell you that much.
वही है।
If this were a convincing victory, you know what I'm trying to say.
Okay, Anurag, let's bring in Anurag. He hasn't spoken yet. Anurag, we have trends for two states. Chhattisgarh, almost everybody agrees that while the BJP has improved its performance, the state will go to the Congress. The BJP didn't really put up a fight. The exit polls are divided on Rajasthan. Most polls giving the state to the BJP, but still the Congress has put up a decent fight, a close fight. It's neck and neck, even by the ABP C voter survey. There's a close fight here with some overlapping numbers. Axis is saying too close to call. Anurag, and then I'll come back to Gautam and Asif Bhamla for comments. Anurag?
Yeah, hi Barkha. Barkha, so interesting fact is I'm sitting 30 kilometers from Chhattisgarh border, Barkha, right now, and I can see
Yes.
about the Chhattisgarh election, and I'm at the place that I'm sitting. It's the Sasural of Shivraj Singh Chauhan. His wife hails from this place, and so there's also a buzz in the market area about what's happening is MP. So there's a big market who and cry. But what I could tell you about Chhattisgarh, Barkha, is actually the BJP has really picked up in the last few weeks. It was looking like a landslide victory for Mr. Baghel, and the kind of campaign the BJP, no doubt about it. And I think most interestingly, Barkha, the corruption allegations in the last phase, that more or less, because if you see the first phase, the phase one was a little bit in the BJP's favor.
Yeah, I think that's the point that Rahul also made. Yeah,
yes, and that's
the
where
impact of these corruption allegations.
BJP actually the local Barkha, the local leadership. The local leadership of BJP has put up a really nice, narrative that it is a corrupt government and everything. And also not to forget the T.S. Singh Dev Baba factor here, Barkha. If it is around 45, 44, the Baba factor can go anywhere. I mean, Motabai calling Baba can change things anywhere. So Baba is anyways disenchanted and he knows that he's not going to be the chief minister.
Okay, I want to come back to Rajasthan briefly.
Barkha, can I add something on Rajasthan, please, Barkha?
Yes,
so
yes.
let me also add the fact that C voter also has two more sets of numbers, which is that there, as I said, there are these marginal seats, right? So we are saying that if all marginal seats go to the BJP, this will be a sweep for the BJP with 130 to 140 seats. Whereas if all the marginal seats went to the Congress, then Congress could be between 91 to 101 and BJP 88 to 98. The sum and substance of it is, in Congress's best case scenario, it is close to a hung assembly where the Congress and BJP both get between 90 to 100. And Congress's worst scenario, BJP's best scenario, is that BJP does a 130 to 140, in which case the Congress will be roughly around 55.
I just want to say one thing before I go to Gautam and Asif, that this poll of polls in Rajasthan has an outlier, and that outlier is the Axis poll, right? Would that be fair to say, or is the C voter also reporting some outlying numbers?
I think, Barkha, I would say that both C voter and Axis are roughly in the same ballpark.
Can we go back to the individual breakups, please, on the screen, please?
Yeah, I would say that, Barkha, I would say that they're roughly in the same ballpark, just a matter of plus minus 5-6 here and there. I think Times Now, ETG, Republic TV is one set of exit polls which is giving a convincing victory to the BJP, whereas C voter and Axis are on the other side, which are saying is a Fasawa Mamla with an edge, whereas Axis is giving the edge to the Congress, C voter is giving the edge to the BJP. That's how it stacks up right now.
Okay, I want to just bring in Gautam. We are also getting reports that we have two pollsters giving. Hang on. Am I reading this right? Axis predicts a BJP sweep in Madhya Pradesh. I was right on Rajasthan. Okay, this is very
Yeah.
interesting. We'll have those numbers for you in a moment. We'll be very distracted if we look at both states together. Let's look at Rajasthan. For just a moment. And I want to bring in Gautam. It certainly suggests, no, this is not correct. It is not predicting a win for Congress in Rajasthan. It is predicting a neck and neck fight. We cannot say it's a win. Please correct that. But Gautam, let's bring you in.
You know, I think the Congress has given a very, very strong fight in Rajasthan. We have, pushed all the good governance work of Ashok Gehlot. We were delivering gas cylinders for 500 rupees. Certainly, with the BJP, failed to do anywhere in any country they governed. They did promise in Chhattisgarh that they'll come to power and give gas cylinders for 500 rupees. But they have governments in so many states, they could have done it by now, but they didn't do it. The Congress managed to do that. The Congress managed to implement the health scheme for the old age people, which was also unparalleled in any other country, the way Ashok Gehlot implemented it and took it to the ground. Yes, there was some anti-incumbency against some MLAs in some constituencies. That's true. But the Congress has given a very, very strong fight. And I will be still a little more optimistic about what these numbers say. I would say that the Congress should be above 100 and we should comfortably be touching the majority mark, because the Congress has indeed fought the election really, really well. And also the BJP was a divided house. The BJP was a divided house.
Yes, मुकेश जी आना चाह रहे हैं, फिर राहुल उतनी देर में मध्य प्रदेश के नंबर्स एक्सिस पोल से हमारे पास आ चुके हैं, actually predicting a very clear victory for the BJP. This is the surprise. This is bucking the trend of what's been expected. But let's come to Madhya Pradesh later. Let's go back to Rajasthan. Let's go back to the Rajasthan numbers on our screen, please. Mukesh ji, please.
मैं ये कह रहा था, जो पिछले वक्ता ने जो कहा कि अशोक गहलोत जी ने की योजनाएं जो थी उनके कारण उनको एक एज था, या तो मेरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ये है कि जो जितनी सीटें कांग्रेस को आई हैं, जितनी आएंगी, वो सब अशोक गहलोत की योजनाओं के कारण और एक जो कनेक्ट उन्होंने बनाया उसके कारण होगी। अगर वो हार रहे हैं, वो 70-80 पे अटक जाते हैं, तो वो भी अशोक गहलोत जी के कारण ही होगी, क्योंकि उनके जो खुद के जो अशोक गहलोत, जो सचिन पायलट को जो लास्ट तक ना लाना, आखिर तक, और लास्ट मोमेंट पर एक ट्वीट कर देना, एक पोस्ट कर देना कि हमारे युवा नेता, और उनका एक वीडियो उन्होंने चलाया, ये जो और पूरा का पूरा जो कुनबा था, उनके सारे विधायक और सारे मंत्री जिनके खिलाफ राजस्थान में भयानक गुस्सा था, उनको रिपीट करना। तो अगर ये हार रहे हैं, 70-80 पे अटक रहे हैं, तो उसका कारण भी अशोक गहलोत होंगे। और अगर 70-80 सीटें आ पा रही हैं, जबकि राजस्थान में हर बार रिवाज होता है कि बदल जाती है सरकार, तो जो आ रहा है वो भी अशोक जी के कारण, जो जा रहा है वो भी अशोक गहलोत के कारण।
तो ये मतलब अशोक गहलोत का चुनाव है, हार या जीत ये अशोक गहलोत का चुनाव है, ये आप कह रहे हैं मुकेश भाई?
One man show.
One man show. Okay, very interesting there. Asif Bhamla, now Rajasthan, it's confusing because we have four of the polling agencies giving it to your party, but one saying it's too close to call. It shows that the Congress has put up a good fight going by these numbers. Asif Bhamla.
Rajasthan is not at all confusing. Rajasthan is definitely a vote for a change. Barkha, you may write this down, and we will speak once the results are out. I'm sure you'll give me the privilege to be on your channel then. So Rajasthan, you can write it down. That is one thing. But the reasons why, जैसे हम कहते हैं, Ashok Gehlot ji, a previous spokesperson, also was mentioning Ashok ji has. So Ashok ji itself, and it is his own policies that will be the reasons why the Congress will have the incumbency and will have to face this problem. If you ask me, the women's safety law, the corruption in Rajasthan, the lathi charge, they talk about farmers in the entire country, but when it comes to Rajasthan, if you see, there have been a number of instances of lathi charges on farmer. Lal Diary ke baare mein to ye charcha karte hain hi nahi. So, you look about the, they talk about the, they talk about,
सर आप ही से सवाल है, जो पोलिंग एजेंसी राजस्थान को क्लोज इलेक्शन कह रही है, वही पोलिंग एजेंसी मध्य प्रदेश में आपकी पार्टी को जीत दे रही है, तो आप एक स्टेट में उनको बिलीव करते हैं, दूसरी स्टेट में उनको नहीं बिलीव करते?
नहीं, हम किसी को बिलीव नहीं करते। हमको अपने नेता, अपने लीडर आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी के काम पर भरोसा है, और देखिए हमारा when BJP plans an election strategy, it doesn't plan it confining just to that election. It's always a long-term policy or planning. Maybe we'll also lose. Like कर्नाटका, उसमें कई सारी खामियां थी और हमने लूज किया, लेकिन एक लीडरशिप क्रिएट और क्यूरेट करना ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी का मकसद होता है, क्योंकि हमारा विजन इज नॉट जस्ट कन्फाइंड कि चुनाव आ गए चले गए, नहीं। आप अगर ये देखें, देन अगेन कमिंग बैक टू द लाल डायरी, अच्छा सेडेशन की हम बात करते हैं, कांग्रेस ने खुद जो है अगेंस्ट पायलट सेडेशन चार्जेस लगाकर उन पर ही एफआईआर फाइल किए। तो ये तमाम जो बातें हैं, ये जो वजह रही हैं, आप अगर देखोगे तो राजस्थान के चुनाव में उनको ही नुकसान कर देगा। 14 पेपर लीक्स अगर आप देखें, 14 paper leakages. 14 paper leakages.
Sir, I have to interrupt you because the numbers are coming very quickly and I have to move from state to state and I need to go to
communal plots.
Ek minute. Rahul Dev, we'll come to MP in just a second. Any quick thoughts on Rajasthan? Divided exit polls, but certainly it seems the Congress has put up a decent fight. Mukesh Mathur says it's a one-man show, Ashok Gehlot all the way. Jo bhi hoga, wo Ashok Gehlot ka show hoga. Quickly, and then I want to take a look at the MP numbers on the screen. Give me a second. Rahul ji. Yes.
He's not too off the mark. So
yes,
it is largely an Ashok Gehlot show. And it goes to his credit that he will shoulder the maximum responsibility for either win or loss. But Rajasthan is a tradition-loving state. We all know that Rajasthanis love their traditions. So I think the tradition will be maintained this time too, despite one or two exit polls saying otherwise.
Yes,
he did put up a good fight. But firstly, the tradition. Rajasthan people have been voting the incumbent out for 3 decades, and there's no reason visible which makes us believe that it will change this time.
Do you want to turn your attention? I'm so sorry because numbers itne jaldi aa rahe hain, to main aap sabko thoda jaldi bol rahi hu. If we can just change our attention, switch our attention to Madhya Pradesh. For a moment, yes, the Congress is leading in Gwalior, but it's not actually leading according to 3 different polling agencies in the rest of the state. If we can go back now to the Madhya Pradesh numbers, Karthikeya, just jump in. Karthikeya?
No, Barkha, I would correct that. So 2 out of 3 are calling it for the BJP right now, which is Chanakya and Axis. Republic is actually, no, this is wrong. Republic is actually giving it to the Congress, if I'm not wrong. So Republic is actually giving it to the Congress.
Well, not per the numbers on our screen.
No, that's I think it's incorrect. So I would ask the producer to just check, or maybe my information is wrong.
Sure. Let's check it again.
But generally speaking, I would say, going by what Axis is saying and Republic TV are saying, and what Chanakya is saying, it seems the BJP is doing really well. In fact, this is Barkha then a repeat of 2013, which is when the Congress was probably at its lowest. This is shocking, but again, I can't comment about these numbers with a lot of authority. Once the C-voter numbers are out, probably we can discuss a little more. But this is I think out of the ordinary. But Barkha, on Rajasthan, one quick point, because I'm sure you want to move to next few states. Rajasthan, BJP fought a very, very scattered campaign. The gap was closed because of not because of Mr. Gehlot.
Okay, sorry, I'm just told that the Republic numbers have been double checked and they are indeed what you see on your screen. So that's three. Okay, so that's 3 polls. That's 3 polls giving Madhya Pradesh to the BJP, and I think we should spend some time talking about that because that is not what was expected.
Yeah. No, so Madhya Pradesh, as if this is holding, and again I can just place a guess, Barkha, 2 probably. One is that BJP's organizational strength in Madhya Pradesh, we all knew that was going to be the key. Second was the Ladli Behna Yojana that kicked in at the very last moment. Third, and this is a little strange, Barkha, just bear with me for a minute when I give you the entire sequence. Initially Mr. Chauhan was sidelined and then he was brought back. If you speak to people in Madhya Pradesh, they would have said, if you had from the very beginning projected Mr. Chauhan, the BJP would have done really badly because there was just so much fatigue. The fact that you sidelined him generated enough sympathy towards him, plus the Ladli Lakshmi Yojana, that when he re-entered the fray, when the BJP started projecting him again, it benefited the BJP in a way. So it worked in a very weird way, but it probably has worked to the BJP's advantage. And the Congress at the end probably lost this, if they have indeed, again, a very strong caveat. If the Congress has lost this, it probably is because of weak organization, ticket distribution, and the fact that probably not everything was okay between the top leaders. But again, we can just conjecture, we can just place guesses at this point.
We don't know. This time, Digvijay Singh is supposed to have told, his colleagues that we will not obstruct Kamal Nath. In fact, ironically, the area where the Congress is doing well is the Gwalior Chambal region, which is Jyotiraditya Scindia's region. After he switched to the BJP, so a lot to understand in Madhya Pradesh. Gautam, are you disappointed to see three of these pollsters giving it to the BJP, not just by a whisker, but by a mile? Gautam?
Absolutely, because as far as our understanding of Madhya Pradesh is concerned, as far as the internal understanding within the party structures is concerned, there is a Congress wave. I would say that Congress is not going to be anywhere below 150. And I'm going to stick to that number because the people of Madhya Pradesh were angry against theft of a mandate. They voted the Congress in power. Their mandate was, snatched by the Bharatiya Janata Party with the use of their position and power in the center. And that the vote was against that. The vote was for Kamal Nath. The vote was to bring back the government which they voted, which was shown the door by the Prime Minister autocratically. So I think these numbers are not something that I would at all believe in. The Congress is absolutely going to cross the 150 mark. And I'm going to stick to the number 150 because this was a wave election. There was absolutely a Congress wave, and there is no chance that the Bharatiya Janata Party is going to get these numbers in any scenario.
Okay, so you don't believe this exit poll. Kartikeya is still maintaining that the Republic TV numbers are not what they are on our screen. Okay, it's correct.
No, it's correct. It's correct. I'm talking about the back end. There was some confusion at the back end. Yeah, no.
Okay, all right.
The screen is absolutely fine. Yeah.
All right. Rahul Dev, Anurag. I must give Anurag a chance to speak. Then Rahul, Mukesh ji, अगर मध्य प्रदेश पे आप कुछ बोलना चाहे, राजस्थान पे भी वापस आएंगे, but feel free. Anurag. Sorry, Anurag.
But Barkha, I have a very clear view of Madhya Pradesh. I strongly disagree with the point telling that Shivraj Singh had a strong anti-incumbency. There was a fatigue. That was the kind of a perception that was trying to people were trying to build, saying 15 saal ho gaya. But there was no major disenchantment against Shivraj because there is nothing negative about him. So I would say that there is nothing called fatigue. But the only winning factor for him was it was a personality contest between Kamal Nath and Shivraj Singh. That made things very easy for BJP because let's understand, Kamal Nath is not that big leader that he can portray himself as somebody who can sweep against the image of Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Congress would have gone with a more united leadership with all the leaders, but they outsourced the election both in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan to Kamal Nath and Gehlot. So Kamal Nath does not have that stature to take on the image and the branding of Shivraj. Shivraj Singh Chauhan always comes with an emotional quotient, Barkha. Let's understand that.
But Anurag, yet the BJP did not project him as the chief ministerial candidate. We don't actually know for sure if he's going to be chief minister if the BJP wins.
That is fine, but the numbers will tell, Barkha. If the numbers are so astonishing, now if you see this Access My India, Pradeep Gupta is basically from Madhya Pradesh. I don't think he'll get it wrong, but I think 140 around numbers if they get, it is clearly the win of the face. You cannot do away with the fact for somebody to lead the campaign.
Right. Okay. Now here's the caveat. Kartikeya, you know your numbers better, but I want Rahul and Asif Bhamla to come in and then Kartikeya explain these numbers. In Madhya Pradesh, there is one poll, the Times Now poll, that is basically suggesting again a neck-and-neck fight, right? The other three polls so far, we're waiting for ABPC voter. The other three polls, this is what the poll of polls looks like. I'm not sure if it actually includes the Times Now poll right now, which is much closer. This Rahulji is giving a clear victory. I don't know where the Times Now poll is, Kartikeya. We'll wait for that to be added in. These are the numbers. This is all right. It's coming right now. This is what we have so far. It is predicting a comfortable win for the BJP. This is despite the fact that Kamal Nath has often been described as the most astute Congress politician. First Rahul Dev, then Asif Bhamla. Rahul Dev.
Well, I'd be a little surprised if the actual numbers are closer to the poll of polls. We know that the difference between the two parties in Madhya Pradesh has been really very, very low, even less than 1% last time. So they are quite evenly poised. Initially, there was confusion about BJP's strategy of three central ministers being made candidates and 7 MPs. But I think they have also recovered a lot, and we must not forget that the Prime Minister has made Madhya Pradesh is really the tightest focus. He has campaigned the most in Madhya Pradesh, I think. I don't remember the number of rallies. So Madhya Pradesh was critical for BJP, and they have left no stone unturned. And yes, it has to be considered that there is no match between the personality and popularity and acceptance of Shivraj Chauhan vis-a-vis Kamal Nath. Kamal Nath does not stand in the same league. So I will be surprised at the large gap, but not the overall outcome.
Right.
And,
So can I just do a favor before Kartikeya leaves? Asif Bhamla, I'm sure the Madhya Pradesh news is making you very happy. Basically, the thing with politicians is they agree with the polls when it goes with their party line. So ये तो आप
Oh no,
ये आपकी
I stick
similarity
to
है.
it.
ये आपकी
I
similarity
stick
है.
to it. I stick to it. It's just that when you hear something good, you feel nice and you feel like rejoicing it. But I know that's all temporary because I mean it's always the best party wins. I mean I'm not coming from that school of thought that would all argue if Congress has won on the day of election कि नहीं ये right है ये wrong है. So जो जीता वही सिकंदर है. We have to go with it. But again when you hear your party is doing well in certain places, we are up and ahead, which earlier in a few hours back from now we won. So then you feel good. But then again, coming back to Madhya Pradesh, I said it is it is going to be Kamal and definitely not Kamal Nath. Let me tell you, and also let me cover up this by saying that the strategies which a few of the other spokespersons were mentioning, that in the initial stage, you see, Mr. Chauhan was not involved, and that happened in the later stage. So again, that also is part of the strategy of the Bharatiya Janata Party, because we work, we have a lot of analytical arrangements when it comes to poll. I'm sure you know we are a full-fledged elector.
Yes.
We are a full-fledged electionary machine. I'm sure you agree with that on that. But
No.
let me tell you, the reality is that the that the Bhai Behan were fighting there. In fact, Kamal Nath was not ready to come out. And it's not the Kamal Nath and Digvijay were the fights were anyways one part of it, but Ladli Lakshmi Behna, so all these things, if you see, there was weak organizational arrangement on the in terms of the Congress, you see, and the ticket distribution.
Sir, I have to come in, because we have another state we have to move to, and that is the state of Telangana. And this is going to be perhaps the surprise, untold story of. Hang on. I'm just trying to make sense of what I am seeing. Times Now ETG is giving Telangana to the Congress. Republic TV is narrowly giving it to the Congress. News Today's Chanakya is giving it to the Congress handsomely. We are waiting for the other two polls. 3 polling agencies are giving, well, two and a half are giving it to the Congress. Kartikeya, quickly.
Barkha, I think on Madhya Pradesh, again, you will have two kinds of opinion exit polls. The ones that are giving clear BJP, and then finally we added the Times Now number, which gave an edge to the Congress. And I guess from what little I know, I can't reveal the number, but C voter is going to do something very similar. So again, Madhya Pradesh, I think the jury is still out.
Okay, can we come to Telangana? You missed my question. I don't know if you missed those numbers. The numbers are on your screen. 3 different polls.
No, sorry. Yeah, okay. So your question being, could you repeat that? Sorry.
I'm saying if the Congress takes Telangana, it will be the big untold story of this election in some ways.
Absolutely. I think if the BJP gets Madhya Pradesh and the Congress gets Telangana, there'll be 2 out of 5 surprises.
Yes.
I think that will be big, huge. And I think then both parties will have something to take away and something to ponder about. The Congress will have the fact that it can win in a state like Telangana, where it was down and out, and probably it will have to rework its strategies in other states as to how it could repeat the same. But Congress would be like, what did we do wrong in Madhya Pradesh, and what does that mean for 2024? The BJP would be, will have to take a call on regional versus national leadership, because if this is a victory in Madhya Pradesh, Barkha, make no mistake, it is a victory for Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan and the organization of the BJP in Madhya Pradesh. So then how does that debate pan out within the BJP? And then the negative on the BJP side would be its complete collapse in Telangana, and how it has lost its footprint in another southern Indian state, and how does it increase its sort of ambitions south of the Vindhyas going in 2024?
Okay, Anurag, a quick comment on Telangana. If Telangana does go to the Congress, and you're now seeing, two polls giving a clear victory to the Congress, and one narrowly a victory for the Congress in Telangana. And I have to say, it's been done with a low key but very rooted, again, regional leader. I think where the Congress does well is where it invests in its regional leaders. Revant Reddy, who I met in Telangana, who said he was 100% sure that the Congress is going to win, going to win Telangana. Anurag?
Barkha, let's understand. I come from Telangana. I've seen this election very, very keenly. Let's give all the credit to Congress for the spirited, very high-spirited campaign. Barkha, the biggest advantage Congress always had in Telangana, I've been telling these leaders, is that there is a narrative that Sonia Gandhi has given Telangana. It is none other than the KCR on the floor of the assembly has said that have no doubts, but Sonia Gandhi is the one responsible for Telangana today on the floor of the So that video was viral, number one. Number two, majority of the strong regional leaders, when 2 times chief minister, larger than life image, when KCR started carrying, he started distancing himself from the tall leaders like Itala Rajendra, Mainampalli, Pungaleti. These are the stronghold people in Khammam. Pungaleti has influence on 10 seats of Khammam. These are the people who shifted to Congress and they settled. So they secured these seats, and Congress did a very, very good campaign. I must say, I've not seen Gandhi's. Barkha, you've been seeing them for ages, more than my, the Congress. Gandhis have not seen campaigning so hard for last 30, 40 years. Such kind of a terrific effort they've put. And one biggest, loser, or one biggest party that is responsible for the numbers, if they hold true, it's the BJP. They have changed Bandi Sanjay, who almost, made this BJP as a resurgent party.
Which was a very big, again,
and
a BJP leadership mistake.
Barkha, they swept all the bypolls, barring one bypoll. They swept all the bypolls after the 2018. BJP was on resurgent. They were number 2 in Hyderabad, the Muslim-dominated Hyderabad. They were number 2 in GHMC. So they got all the mojo. But eventually, when Sanjay, our Kishan was brought in, to be the party president, and entire party lost the confidence. If you talk to the cadre, I mean, a majority of my friends are BJP cadre. They were so disheartened when Bandi Sanjay, they used to feel an emotional connect. He got all the spirit, and then suddenly everything collapsed. And they got this information, or they got this sense that perhaps there is a backdoor talking between the BJP and BRS. And that narrative flown very, very hard. If you talk to any journalist in Telangana, they will tell you the narrative that BJP and BRS are hand in glove is the truth. And that's where Congress, came in as an alternative. They did a very good campaign, particularly in the rural pockets. If you see the numbers, after they come in on third, you will see that BRS would do good in the urban pockets, and the rural Telangana pockets, Congress has almost swept the Barkha. And I'm very confident. And these numbers that you're going to see on the screen, on the third, you would say that Congress has really held up in the rural belt. So it is going to be a big advantage for the Congress, but the big self goal for the BJP, usually they don't do self goals, but Telangana has been a big, big self goal for them.
So look at that poll of polls number on our screen. We have Manu joining us from Sea Voter. Hi, Manu. It's good to see you. Gautam, do you want to come in? That's the poll of polls on Telangana. A very clear, comfortable, handsome win for the Congress. There was some anxiety in Congress cadres when I was there. If we don't win handsomely, then we can be broken after after the elections. The BRS and the BJP could join hands. I'm just leaving that question out there. Gautam, looking at these numbers, are you still worried that could happen? Gautam? Can we unmute Gautam, please? I'm trying to talk to Gautam. Can you hear us, Gautam? Can we come out of these pictures? Yeah, go ahead, Gautam. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, why am I so happy about Telangana is because I was myself put to coordinate all the media activities for the Telangana state elections by the party. I was stationed there for almost last 65 days. And I came back just yesterday to Punjab. And what I saw in Telangana was not a Congress wave, Barkha, but I'll be very clear. And I put my words very responsibly here. It was a Congress tsunami. From Medak to Nalgonda, from Nalgonda to Warangal, from Warangal to Karimnagar, from Karimnagar to Nagar Karnool, wherever you would go, people 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 were saying that we want KCR out. We believe Indra Amma's Rajya. We believe Sonia Amma, what she has told for us. We believe the guarantees of Rahul Anna and Priyanka Akka. So that factor has strongly worked in Telangana. The Congress has done an immensely great campaign there because I was a part of the team myself. So I know the hard work that the party had put in. Our national president, 83 years old, Mallikarjun Kharge ji, was camping in Telangana for a week or more and addressing 2-2 to 3-3 roadshows and rallies every day. So the hard work of Congress is literally going to pay back. And in Telangana, there is an absolute strong tsunami. We are going to be above 75, Barkha.
Okay, a Congress tsunami in Telangana, says Gautam. Can we briefly turn to Mizoram? We must see what's happening in Mizoram, and then we can look at all 5 states together. Do we have the Mizoram numbers? I was actually just waiting for them. Okay, they'll come in 30 seconds. Rahul Dev, if you want to come in with a comment on Telangana in the meantime. Rahul?
The poll of polls is close to my own estimation.
Yes.
I think the Prime Minister deliberately ensured that BRS is out of the game.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because what he said in Telangana in his public meeting about KCR wanting to join with him and BJP, I mean Prime Minister saying no, was clearly meant to cut the BRS down to size to KCR. It hurt him very badly, and this impression that there is something between the BJP and KCR, there was something between them, has hurt both of them actually. I don't know whether it was a deliberate miscalculation or a deliberate ploy so that the one strong regional player is put in place in its own place, and now the fight next time is going to be clearly between the two national parties. But for Congress has done a remarkable recovery in Telangana, no doubt about that. Its campaign has been very strong, very organized. BJP was, it will be very disappointed with the results. So it's going to be a north-based party largely now. It's not going to help it in the Lok Sabha elections at all.
Yeah.
So it has to be, the Congress leadership there has to be given credit for putting up a very, very strong and organized fight. And they did manage to, I think, achieve the results, what they want.
Okay, Gautam's wanting to come in, and then I don't know if Mukesh is with us in the next hour, but I think we should get a last comment from him on Rajasthan in the meantime. But Gautam, you wanted to come in, I'm sure, on Telangana. Gautam,
yeah,
go
just
ahead.
10 seconds I want to take, just 10 seconds. You know, this perception that Modi's tried to keep BRS out is totally wrong. There was a teen ki tigdi in Telangana. That teen ki tigdi was Narendra Modi, KCR and Asad Owaisi. It was BJP, MIM and the BRS. And the reason that the Prime Minister and the Home Minister and Yogi Adityanath jumped into the Telangana campaign for the last 5 days so extensively was to try and create a triangular contest to help the BRS, to support the BRS, because they were seeing that it's a Congress tsunami in the state. But they have miserably failed in their effort. So they are totally, they are being controlled. The KCR and Asad, they are being controlled by Narendra Modi like a
I think that's what Anurag was also saying, being from the state, that this narrative that BRS and BJP are actually together was believed by the voters, right, Anurag? Can we unmute Anurag, please? Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. That's exactly right, Barkha. And Barkha, I will tell you one more very interesting point, Barkha. Some analysts told the BRS party, there is a lot of anti-incumbency and fatigue on KCR face. Don't send him to the campaign. You know what Congress did? Congress decentralized the campaign. When I used to go to Khammam, they used to say Priyanka ji kala rahe. They go to Warangal, they say Rahul ji kala rahe. So the Priyanka, Rahul, Revant and Mr. Kharge, they were decentralized across Telangana length and breadth. They were just spreading like fire. And KCR did not come out of this farmhouse till the last leg of the election when he felt, okay, things are losing. KCR's popularity in the rural belt of Telangana cannot be written off. And KTR was busy in doing media shows based in Hyderabad. So, of course,
Okay, I lost Anurag there. Mukesh, I'm told that you are not with us in the next hour, so I just want to get a last.
Can I come on Telangana?
1 minute, Mr. Bhamla. I just want to get Mr. Okay, 1 minute. Mr. Bhamla on Telangana, then Mukesh ji on Rajasthan. Yeah, Mr. Bhamla, please go ahead. Can we have the Telangana numbers on the screen, please? Yes, go ahead, Mr. Bhamla, please.
So we understand that Telangana has been a crucial state for us, and
let's just switch to Telangana, please, in the numbers. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Bhamla.
yeah, we understand Telangana has been a crucial state for us, and we've not been. It doesn't show good to us as of now. And of course, it's but then of course, let me submit that it's the 10 years hold of the BRS, the anti-incumbency will certainly play. And again, there is this Muslim vote factor, which is going to be a very important factor, because this is going to be between the BRS, the AIMIM, and of course the Congress. So we also don't write this state down. But if we may not come there back in a better way, we will certainly fare much better than past, because we've already declared that we have a backward class CM is something that has been a commitment that the Honorable Prime Minister has given. But having said that, there has been a KCR emotional appeal, and one of your spokesperson was mentioning we have indirectly tried to help the KCR. But and on the other hand, there is another spokesperson who says it's because Modi ji, who has expressed, in his statements, so that is in a way dumped the KCR. So मैं ये narrative समझ नहीं पाया किस तरीके से. But let me tell you, all in all, Muslims will be a decisive vote factor in a state like Telangana, and I'm sure that it's going to be fractionalized in a very big manner.
Okay, thank you for those comments.
The way it looks.
Bhamla. Okay, hang on. It is a little after 8 p.m. We have more guests joining us. I see Sandeep Ghosh with us. I see Manu Sharma with us. I think Dilip Cherian should be with us in a moment from now. It's been an exciting surprise set of exit polls. Health warning, this is not the actual result. And the big surprises, in some ways, the parties may not look at them as surprises, but I think for political pundits, there has been a sweep forecast for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh, a very handsome win forecast for the Congress in Telangana, and at least one poll is saying Rajasthan is too close to call. Those are the big headline points at this hour. If you have just joined us, Manu, I'm going to ask you to take us through all 5 states one by one and then open it up for our panel. We have Telangana up on our screen. Okay, I don't know where we're starting. Let's start with Rajasthan. So let's start with Rajasthan, Manu. Take a look at that. But can I please look at the individual breakup of Rajasthan first? If I can look at the individual breakup of Rajasthan, because what happened, Manu, in Rajasthan is that only one poll was the outlier poll, that was Axis, that actually said that the election is too close to call, and almost all of the others predicted a BJP win. But with that Axis outlier input, now let's go to the poll of polls. The Rajasthan picture looks like this. Still an advantage, a very clear advantage for the BJP, unless Axis has got it right. Manu, make sense of Rajasthan.
Okay, so I can perhaps help decode what's happening in Rajasthan through 2 regions. Now, if you look at the Rajasthani politics, out of the 200 odd Vidhan Sabha seats, roughly 80 seats are contributed by 2 major regions of Dhundhar and Marwar. Now, in both of these regions, what's going on is that there is a very keen and a close fight. I mean, exceptionally keen, I must say, between Congress and BJP. So out of the 5 regions, you have 2 regions being very closely contested, and those 2 regions are also politically very significant. So it's a pollster's nightmare to then call the election, when you don't have all the regions, or perhaps let's say the majority of the regions trending one way. Now, putting that aside, what's going on is that the BJP has done well in its traditional regions. The Congress is doing well in its traditional regions, bar these 2. And within these 2, you have extremely close and keen contests with one additional input of the others or the independents. Now, as per our analysis, about 44 seats across Rajasthan have either an independent or a non-BJP, non-Congress candidate either leading the seat or trailing at, the first spot. So 44 seats are, up in the air, with one of the contenders being non-BJP and non-Congress. And with that, additional element, this election becomes extremely complicated. However, the precedent suggests that there is always an element of anti-incumbency in Rajasthan. So let's say if the fight is too close, a pollster would say, okay, let's lean towards what's been the historic precedent. So maybe there is an edge to the BJP. Not perhaps a very significant one, but there.
But the edge, so the edge is still with the BJP in Rajasthan. Mukesh ji, before I come to Sandeep and Dilip, who just joined us, are you in agreement with that? क्या आप सहमत हैं कि एक्सिस के पोल के बावजूद और जो एडवांटेज है, जो एज है, वो अभी भी बीजेपी के साथ है?
100%। पर एक पॉइंट ये है, अगर लार्जर पिक्चर देखें तो कांग्रेस के पास मुस्कुराने की बहुत सारी वजह है। अगर तेलंगाना में कांग्रेस आ रही है और छत्तीसगढ़ में कांग्रेस एग्जिट पोल के हिसाब से है, और जो मध्य प्रदेश का हम कह रहे हैं बीजेपी एक तरफा है, मेरे पास जो लिस्ट है उसके हिसाब से 3 पोल ऐसे हैं जो बीजेपी के साथ हैं और 3 ऐसे हैं जो कांग्रेस के साथ हैं। तो अगर ये 3 स्टेट में अगर कांग्रेस बढ़त मिलती है तो एक राहुल गांधी के लिए एक अच्छी बात। राजस्थान में जो बात है रिवाज की, बीजेपी के अपने जो एफर्ट हैं, अगर बीजेपी आती है उसके अपने एफर्ट अगर 5 साल में देखें, पहली बात उनके पास कोई चेहरा नहीं था, कोई लीडरशिप नहीं थी। आप भले ही कहते रहे कि हम मोदी हमारा चेहरा है, लेकिन राजस्थान का कार्यकर्ता, राजस्थान का नेता
एक और पोल आया है मुकेश भाई, ये चाणक्य का, अगर हम बैनर पे आपको दिखाएं तो वो कांग्रेस को एज दे रहा है, वो कांग्रेस को एज दे रहा है. Access is saying it's too close to call. And can we go to the Rajasthan numbers? We're actually on the Rajasthan numbers, please. We're actually just on the Rajasthan numbers. We look at the other states after this. Mukesh bhai, please carry on.
राजस्थान में सिर्फ एक पोल है जो इंडिया टुडे एक्सिस का है, जो कह रहा है कि कांग्रेस आ सकती है, अदरवाइज सारे
एक और भी कह रहा है, नहीं सर, एक और भी अभी आया है चाणक्य का पोल, वो कांग्रेस को विन दे रहा है राजस्थान में. बट गो अहेड.
ओके
जी.
पर एग्जिट पोल क्या कहते हैं उसका फाइनल 3 तारीख को पता चलेगा. पर ओवरऑल इसके पीछे की जो कहानी है वो मैं बता रहा था आपको कि बीजेपी के अपने एफर्ट अगर इस जीत में देखे जाएं तो बहुत कम है. कैसे? 5 साल तक जो सारे जो इश्यूज थे, राजस्थान के सारे जो मुद्दे थे, पेपर लीक है ना, महिलाओं के खिलाफ अत्याचार वगैरह, 5 साल तक बीजेपी उसको सही ढंग से चैनलाइज करके उस गुस्से को, उस नाराजगी को कभी सामने नहीं ला पाई. सचिन पायलट ने अजमेर से जयपुर तक एक रैली निकाली पेपर लीक के खिलाफ, उनकी पार्टी के एक व्यक्ति ने, नेता ने, और उसमें लाखों लोग आए. बीजेपी की कोई ऐसी रैली, कोई ऐसा मंच नहीं दिखा जहां पे युवाओं का ऐसा गुस्सा आप उसको सामने ला सकें. पहली बात. दूसरी बात, इनका कोई चेहरा नहीं था राजस्थान में. मोदी हमारा चेहरा है कहते रहे और उसी से आगे बढ़ते रहे. लास्ट के जो 6 दिन थे मतदान से पहले, 6 दिन जो थे वोटिंग से पहले, उसमें जमकर ध्रुवीकरण किया गया, करने की कोशिश की गई. और अब आज के दौर में बीजेपी ध्रुवीकरण तभी करती है जब उसके बाकी सारे इश्यूज, बाकी सारे मोर्चे फ्लॉप हो जाते हैं, फेल हो जाते हैं. तो आखिर के 6 दिनों में बहुत सारे रोड शो हुए, योगी के रोड शो हुए, मोदी के जयपुर में प्रधानमंत्री मोदी के रोड शो हुए, और बहुत सारी ऐसी बातें कही गई. भारत पाकिस्तान हो गया, ये चुनाव भारत पाकिस्तान जैसा हो गया, तालिबान यहाँ आ गए, वगैरह वगैरह. तो ओवरऑल में इसका क्रेडिट फिर भी बीजेपी को शायद ही कोई दे पाए कि आपने
आपको लगता है कि in a sense it's more anti-incumbency than the BJP's, than a pro-BJP win, but there'll be many interesting questions for what happens to Vasundhara Raje after this. I can see Bhavya Narasimha of the Congress about to join us. Can we please add her? There she is. Welcome to the program, Bhavya. And I want to first take a look at what all the states are looking like. What are all the states? Let's look at the big political picture, then get Dilip, Bhavya and Sandeep to come in. Can we start? Can we start with the states? Are we ready? Okay, so let's start. Rajasthan. So Rajasthan, we were just discussing, this is what the poll of polls says. It gives the edge to the BJP, but there's one poll that's giving the victory to the Congress, and another, Access My India, that is actually talking about an election that is too close to call with overlapping numbers. Now let's move on to the next state. No, I actually need the slide that shows us all 5 states together. Can I please have a look at that slide? First, let's take a look at that slide. Can I have a look at? Okay. In the meantime, Dilip, you're seeing the surprise result on the screen, which is really Madhya Pradesh in many ways, where most of the polls are talking about a BJP win. This is actually, can we just go full frame to this? This is actually what the poll of polls looks like for all of the states. So, you can have a picture there. The big story, of course, as I said, is a Congress win in Telangana, a BJP win in Rajasthan, a BJP win in Madhya Pradesh, a Congress win in Chhattisgarh, and a possible hung assembly with the edge to the MNF in Mizoram. That's the big political picture at this hour. The big story, of course, I think the big two stories are Telangana and Madhya Pradesh for bucking what a lot of people forecast, which is a very handsome win for the Congress in Telangana, and where everybody thought Kamal Nath would be able to take Madhya Pradesh. Most polls today predicting a very comfortable BJP win in Madhya Pradesh. Before I ask Manu to take us through state-wise numbers, Dilip, your comments.
My sense is that if the BJP does take both Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, those are the two largest states. And for them, that is infinitely more significant than BRS losing out in Telangana. Chhattisgarh, they had no expectations of. And Manipur, we are not yet clear what's going on.
Mizoram.
Mizoram, sorry. So what we are looking at is that the two large states which they wanted to control, need to control, and hope to control, they have been able to show the lack of anti-incumbency against Shivraj and the fact that they've been able to wrest control out of Gehlot. I think this is the big message they will go with. And this has, I think, huge implications even for the Congress, because the Congress was also equally hoping that despite the pilot Gehlot anxiety, that the Vasundhara factor would work to make sure that the BJP was not so strongly ahead. So while we all need to use the normal caveat that these are only exit polls, we don't know what's going to happen, but if these figures are likely to be true on Sunday, then we are looking at a rather disappointed Congress emerging from this, irrespective of whether they win Telangana or not.
Okay, so you're saying that the Madhya Pradesh knock, if it's true, Dilip, will not make up for the win in Telangana because Madhya Pradesh is the heartland and they really believe they were going to win that one. Dilip?
Totally. I think that they were also set on proving that by Madhya Pradesh going their way, they would show that anyone who dared to go against the verdict of the people and flip the state, which happened in Madhya Pradesh, would be punished. But if that does not happen, then the Congress's narrative needs to change. And that's going to be a problem because Madhya Pradesh was something that the Congress was heavily backing on.
Okay, I know Rahul has to leave us, so with Sandeep's permission, Rahul, I'll get a last comment from you on the big picture. Dilip Cherian says a Madhya Pradesh defeat will not be compensated by a Congress win in Telangana if these numbers are correct. Rajasthan, the edge is still with the BJP, despite two polls suggesting some sort of slender sort of fight, keeping Congress still in the game. The big picture, Rahul, before you leave us?
I largely agree with Dilip. Madhya Pradesh is critically important for BJP, I mean, for both of them. But if BJP wins the MP the fourth time, that by itself is a huge thing politically. And it reestablishes its almost a hegemony on the biggest...
But even as we're speaking, I'm so sorry, but even as we're speaking, the C voter survey, and Manu, you're with C voter, gives Congress the win in Madhya Pradesh. So all of these numbers have to change, guys. Let's update all of our numbers, keeping these new inputs in place. So we don't know. Manu?
Okay.
This poll of polls does not have the C voter numbers. I just want to make it clear, this poll of polls does not have the C voter numbers. Yes, Manu.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering that. Regarding Madhya Pradesh, you see, in Madhya Pradesh, according to our poll, there is around 3% vote share gap between Congress that is leading over the BJP. Now, where is that gap coming from? We found out that, apart from the traditional stronghold of Bhopal, which is incidentally from where the incumbent chief minister comes from. The BJP is trailing across all the major regions by, somewhere lightly and somewhere, by a very strong margin. And primarily, it is Chambal and the Mahakoshal region, the belt of, Congress challenger, Mr. Kamal Nath, from where the Congress is able to capitalize on the anti-incumbency sentiment. And so long as they hold, and obviously Chambal is the region from where the BJP took away a lot of erstwhile Congressy leaders, when they formed this government. So for BJP, the challenge, and across most polls, that is, I think, what the difference will be in the analysis, that Chambal and Mahakoshal would be the decider. According to us over there, Congress has, kind of maintained its strong position vis-a-vis the BJP, and that's why we are giving an edge to the Congress.
Okay, I see Yashwant is with us. And Yashwant, I'll come to you in just a moment because we're just adding the ABPC voters numbers on Madhya Pradesh, which have again kind of queered the pitch. We were just talking about a possible BJP win, as many polls suggest, for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh, and a big win for the Congress in Telangana. But we should add your numbers to this poll of polls. Can I have the individual slide, maybe with the ABPC voter numbers added in the meantime? And then we can at least discuss Madhya Pradesh in the meantime. Yes. No, this doesn't have the ABPC voter numbers. I need them added. Please, can we add them quickly? In the meantime, Bhavya, your comments and Sandeep's comments on the big picture. Bhavya? Bhavya is on mute. Can we unmute Bhavya? Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So about all the 5 states.
Well, right now we're on Madhya Pradesh. If you want to come in on Madhya Pradesh, this is what it looks like.
So when it comes to Madhya Pradesh, there are many factors we would like to tell why we are going to win. One of the factors is about how they treated, one of the mass leaders of Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji.
But the polls are not forecasting. The polls are not all forecasting a win for you. In fact, majority of the polls are forecasting a defeat.
Of course,
in Madhya
exit
Pradesh.
polls are a good indicators, but that doesn't mean they're exactly what the results will be. We have seen that in the past, that exit poll can differ really to a large extent compared to the results. This time, we are very confident that we're going to win because of the guarantees and how the guarantees changed Karnataka's results and how we are very successful in implementing all guarantee programs that we promised to people of Karnataka.
Can I interrupt you before you get into what's going to happen in Madhya Pradesh? Let me bring in Yashwant Deshmukh at this point. Yashwant, we had your numbers last of all, which we've just added to this slide. And Dilip was just saying moments ago that if the Congress wins Telangana but loses Madhya Pradesh, they will be absolutely devastated. Now, your numbers have added a new element to the mix, right? Because most of the other polls, and you can see them on your screen, are giving a clear victory to the BJP. Yours is the one poll that is giving the maximum number of seats to the Congress. How do we read this, Yashwant?
Well, Barkha, we can only comment on what we do and what we are doing and we are seeing,
Yes.
And largely speaking, because we run a tracker on a daily basis and we have been doing this for more than a year on a daily basis. And the exit poll trends are more or less continuation of the trend where we left the tracker a day before the 2 days before the actual polling happened. So for us, we are just confident about our numbers. As Manu, I was listening to Manu, he was telling about the regional variations. And when we talk about the regional variation, it is important to understand, Barkha, that there are saturation numbers even in the last election as far as the regional variations are concerned. BJP's strongholds of Bhopal and Malwa, they have been saturating those numbers. Similarly, the Congress strongholds of Bagelkhand or Nimar or for that matter Chambal, they had been saturating. Chambal was unique because of Jyotiraj Scindia switching over to the BJP, and it was a battle where we could have sensed that, okay, this is a place where if BJP manages to switch or snatch Chambal on riding on the popularity of Jyotiraditya Scindia from the Congress, then this is something which, Congress is in a real problematic situation in Madhya Pradesh. But our numbers, at least throughout the year and right now, they didn't suggest. There were reports and there were suggestions that this Congress imports from the Congress were not going down well with the BJP's rank and file. So I think our numbers are pretty much in continuation what our tracker was finding, and we stick by that.
Okay, Yashwant, I know you're here on limited time, as is everybody else. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to go through all 5 states, the big picture. And then, sorry, Sandeep, you've been waiting. Before Yashwant does that, you want to get in a quick comment? Okay, you can wait. Okay,
sorry.
Yashwant, you have to go. Yashwant, quickly, the big political picture looks like, we don't know, looks like a possible, notwithstanding your own numbers, a possible BJP win in Madhya Pradesh, a comfortable Congress win in Telangana, a confusing picture in Rajasthan, right? Possibly hung assembly in Mizoram, and a comfortable Congress win in Chhattisgarh, notwithstanding the BJP improving its numbers. Big political picture from you. Quick comment before you have to go, Yashwant.
Very good. With due apologies to Sandeep, I'm sorry for pitching in there out of turn. But largely speaking, Barkha, what I see that the mood for change across all the state got stunted by a good, brilliant comeback by everybody who is in power. And that is interesting to observe that elections have become way too close than what we were thinking they would be like. But definitely 4 out of 5 states, we sense from the data there should be a result in change of power, change of guard. And one state where it is likely to continue in our data as the same person in power.
So you don't believe only Chhattisgarh will keep the same party in power. You're not convinced of the Congress.
That also will be Chhattisgarh, by the way, is the closest of all 5. If you look into the gap of the vote share, that is the closest of all the 5. That is also the closest of all the 5. So Chhattisgarh on the counting day on the 3rd probably won't get cleared till late afternoon, late evening, because there would be at least 21 seats in Chhattisgarh, which will be swinging from here to there with every new round of votes that are coming in.
Right. So, Yashwant, stay as long as you can. Sandeep, let me bring you in on the big political picture. The takeaways are tough right now. The takeaways are tough because there isn't unanimity among many of the major pollsters. Yashwant, for example, is giving the largest number of seats of all polls to the Congress in Madhya Pradesh, but still predicting a close fight. Sandeep, just unmute yourself before you speak, and then Dilip, and then we'll come to the party spokespeople. Yes, Sandeep.
Barkha, my take as a distant observer is all these polls. Right now it could swing both ways because the margins or the predictions are very, very narrow. And and what I agree with Yashwant, there are no very strong incumbency or anti-incumbency factors in most states because I think the voters are looking at things a little differently. Unless there were, some places like we saw in UP last time when Yogi had a very strong incumbency factor. None of these other people, people are now seeing more or less it's a choice between similar kind. 19-20 ka sawal hai, and that sort of a thing, how voters are seeing. Now, from my own sense, I'll comment where I have some knowledge. First of all, I like to comment on Rajasthan. And there I would tend to take the access poll with give a lot of weightage to the access poll. My own assessment there is Congress can have an edge more so because of the contradictions inside BJP and the way they have handled many of their issues and ticket distribution, etc. A quick contrast, I would say, between Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan is in Madhya Pradesh, BJP finally managed to get Shivraj Singh on the right side, and so that he didn't play a spoiler. In case of Rajasthan, they may have neutralized Vasundhara, but they could not really get her to rally or mobilize for the party. And as a result, there have been very, very stark, problems on the ground, which I have seen for myself. And so I think, and this whole rebel candidates are going to be a big, and you see the rebel candidates factor. I was there, in fact, in Rajasthan on 25th and 26th, Yashwant, they are masters. If you see the turnout also, you'll find wherever there were rebel candidates, those constituencies had a very high turnout because the rebels managed to get people in. I'm personally familiar with one constituency, which is Chittor. It's a existing BJP MLA who's very strong. He was not given to accommodate Veroshin Shekhawat's son-in-law because he had to be shifted from Jaipur where Diya Kumari was accepted. As a result, the Congress guy who was not originally contesting, he got his ticket at the last minute.
So you believe the BJP has botched its campaign in a sense in Rajasthan?
I think so. They didn't get it together. Whereas in Madhya Pradesh, while this whole close contest bit and Yashwant's general finding, I would have gone along with it. But there, my own sense and for whatever ground information I have, is apart from Shivraj making a comeback with his Ladli Yojana and everything else, there have been a lot of side deals on the ground. And
okay, let me open this up. There's a lot of detail you've given us to talk about.
One just last point, so therefore this strategy of bringing the central leaders have bombed in Rajasthan, but in MP it will work because these people, for in their own interests, not to become irrelevant, they have pulled their weight to get some of those seats.
Okay,
and what I disagree or not disagree, I have a difference. I think Chambal and the Bhil Morena area, Gwalior area, may finally swing in favor of BJP because Jyotiraditya Scindia and to some extent Tomar, despite his because of his other problems, were under pressure to deliver those.
So sorry, I'm going to have to come in because Bhavya hasn't spoken, barely spoken yet. I have to go to the others as well. And Yashwant, I don't know how long we have you for, but Dilip first, you, then Yashwant, and then to the party spokespeople. Dilip, the Madhya Pradesh picture changes only slightly with Yashwant's vote, C voter till the actual results come. At the moment, the state is still forecast to go to the BJP. The poll of polls, that is. Your big political takeaways right now? The North-South divide after Telangana if it goes to the Congress?
My big political takeaways are, look for what is the impact of the freebies. There has been a cascade of freebies both in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. The second thing is, look for how the Muslim vote banks have behaved in Telangana and in Rajasthan. Rajasthan not so much, but Telangana very crucial. I would say that any analysis which does not look at this is going to miss out on the longer term trends beyond these regional elections. So what I'm saying is that, when one looks at how these final results will pan out, we need to look at what is the electoral message for 2024 on freebies and how these so-called welfare schemes have worked Madhya Pradesh, qua Rajasthan. And the second thing is, as I said, to see how the minority vote has behaved in Telangana will also be interesting.
Yashwant, when you were doing your opinion polls across states, what is the difference you find between those and the exit polls? Do you see any significant difference in the findings?
Well, actually, the trends got, it got more closer. That was the difference. But somehow we did not find a reversal of the entire thing that our tracker was suggesting. Yes, everybody fought it out. Like, what we talked about rebel candidates, for example. Our exit poll does suggest that there are almost as many as 14 others that are likely to win or are ahead in Rajasthan, for example. There are 30 other seats where they are runner-up or a close runner-up in that way, So there are 44 seats in Rajasthan where a non-Congress, non-BJP player is in a dominant position. That is like we are talking about every fourth seat in Rajasthan. Now, these kind of things, these kind of micromanagements of putting up the rebel candidates, and obviously, Barkha, generally, the historically the idea had been that rebel candidates are being pushed by the opposition parties, but not in the case of Rajasthan. rebel candidates are actually pushed by their own people, their own factions within the same party. So that is murking the waters in that way. So it's more of a lot of that kind of play into action.
Let me ask you the big political question. For the two big national parties, the BJP, of course, and the Congress that is at least vying for the leader of the opposition bloc, at the end of these state elections, going by these exit polls, what does the big picture look like, Yashwant?
I think the big picture for me is first of all that the idea of anti-incumbency is kind of no more legit and valid, and this we have been maintaining even in our pre-poll survey, that there is a sense of fatigue, but there is no sense of anti-incumbency against any of the chief minister. The only chief minister who was actually facing anti-incumbency was from Telangana. Otherwise, no chief minister was unpopular. And that is a very unique situation with all the Labharti Yojanas and the delivery of the governance. I guess that big number of leaders have cracked the formula of going back to the people and asking for a repeat mandate, and that is an interesting thing to observe. People may criticize Labharti Yojana on the economic front and all that. I am not going into that. I am only looking into the fact that voters are getting something from the governance, and whatever has been promised to them, that is being delivered to them. That is becoming
and do you think a Congress defeat in Madhya Pradesh would be a bigger story than a Congress win in Telangana? Which way do you look at it? Because that's the point Dilip made.
I would agree with him. I would fully agree with him that yes, Congress victory in Telangana would make a big news. I get that, but what Congress defeat in MP would mean is a systematic kind of destruction of Congress infrastructure in the entire north of India in that case. Because if they cannot win Madhya Pradesh after this much of anti-incumbency emotion on the ground, and then there is some problem with the party infrastructure. There is some issue out there, and that would be a much bigger concern. That should be a much bigger concern for the Congress, because BJP, please remember, BJP or Narendra Modi is not Prime Minister of India because he is winning seats from the south of India. He is Prime Minister of India. BJP is ruling India because they are winning the seats, huge number of seats north of India. There are approximately 200 seats where it is basically Congress versus the BJP. And these are the seats where Congress is to make a turnaround if they really wish to have a contest in 2024. So I agree with Dilip on that. Yes, Madhya Pradesh, losing Madhya Pradesh should be a much bigger concern for the Congress than winning Telangana.
Okay, give me a moment.
Can I come in?
Half a second. I want Dilip.
I just want to rebut on Yashwant.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Why don't we go? Dilip, I know we have 2 more minutes. I'll just go to Mr. Bhamla and then...
See, I would just say, that Congress has always been over-projected in polls than in the actual performances. And we will see that in the forthcoming results also. And let me tell you that negative voting against the BRS, that negative voting will also split between the Congress and the BJP. Congress is not going to take the whole share. Let me tell you that BJP has 4 seats in the Lok Sabha from just North Telangana. So BJP in the Lok Sabha has been a very good performer even in Telangana. So I don't know how and why the BJP is totally written off. But let me tell you the results. On the results day, the outcome of BJP, we may form a government or we may not, but that will be really shocking in terms of Telangana. You will have a really different narrative with Telangana.
Let's see what happens. Now I'm going to ask all of you for your big political takeaways because there's not so much time left. Dilip Cherian, I'll start with you, then Bhavya. Dilip, it's a confusing picture. It's a muddled picture. Here's what we can say safely if these exit polls are correct. What we can say safely is Congress looks like it will take a second term in Chhattisgarh. Congress looks like it will win Telangana. Rajasthan, the edges with the BJP. Madhya Pradesh, the edges with the BJP, and then that leaves Mizoram with a sort of uncertain picture with the MNF in the lead. This is the big picture. This is the big picture, all things considered. What does this tell us about politics, looking at it through a macro lens?
I think the clear messages are that anti-incumbency is overrated currently at the moment. Except for BRS, they don't seem to be working too strongly, and that's perhaps one of the messages we need to figure out. Rajasthan, I don't consider as an anti-incumbency vote. I consider as a vote which resulted because of the way the Congress itself was hardly harmonious, to say it lightly, till the very end. So that could be a very big explanatory factor for how that worked. As I said earlier, going into 24, the messaging we need to look for is what happens with the sudden announcements of schemes and the actual payments of direct benefits. Now, we may call them bravery or we may call them support for those who need it, but either way, has that worked, and is that the tipping point? If it works in Madhya Pradesh, why does it not work in Rajasthan? How was it designed differently? And the last point, and I'll stop here, is what is the effect of the kind of minority behavior that has been predicted for a while? Do they vote as one? Do they split their vote? What happens? I think these are the big messages we should look for.
Okay, Dilip, stay as long as you can. I know you have to go. Let me get in Bhavya. Bhavya, would the Congress be very disappointed if Madhya Pradesh doesn't go your way?
So, as we know, the incumbent government is from BJP, and we are definitely giving a very tough fight. And our guarantees are playing a very big role in drawing more votes. We strongly believe we will win there because of the anti-incumbency. But even otherwise, I think these 5 states, or even before this, the Karnataka elections, we will see this as a resurgence of Congress party across the nation. So,
okay, what is the most significant factor for you if the Congress wins Telangana? Because it will be a kind of like a north-south division in politics, Bhavya.
Telangana, we are very sure we are going to form the government. One, a lot of factors. The BJP is more of an alliance partner to BRS. Untold alliance is what we can say. And a lot of anti-incumbency towards KCR, and how BJP, withdrew the cases against Kavita. So all of this has played a big role in creating this wave. Telangana, we are very sure we are going to create. Come to power. And one of the very important point is about how the BJP is actually sidelining all its local leaders. For example, in Karnataka, it was Yediyurappa. In Telangana, it is Bandi Sanjay. And it's in Rajasthan, it is Vasundhara Raje. In Madhya Pradesh, it's Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So this will definitely be a very negative factor for BJP because they want to control everything from Delhi, because of which they're actually sidelining the mass leaders and whom they think they can't tame. And that is also playing a role in the BJP's part. And that is definitely helping the Congress. Both the anti-incumbency with BRS and the BJP's support to BRS, indirect support, that is definitely helping Congress, because there is an anti-incumbency wave and they see that BJP is supporting BRS. All of this together, definitely we are very sure Telangana we will form the government.
Okay, let me actually take this very interesting question to Sandeep Ghosh of the BJP's marginalization of its state level leaders. Sandeep.
Barkha, there are 2 separate questions. If we are talking in the context of these state election, that has one implication. Another implication is about 2024. Now, since we are going past these assembly elections, I think that will be more of an academic question. It will be seen only in the next round of assembly elections or BJP's strategy going forward with the states. One of the problems with BJP has been, even after 10 years of Narendra Modi rule, they have not been able to replace some of the state leaders. Like Shivraj Singh Chauhan, left to them, they would have replaced him much earlier. Vasundhara, as we all know, they tried, they couldn't. So they have not been able to do that, but that's a separate question. In these elections, personally, I feel BJP has much more at stake than Congress in a political sense, because if BJP loses Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, I think that will be a huge setback to them. And you cannot say that they will, like 2019, it doesn't matter where the states have gone. They lost those states and they still swept the Lok Sabha. I think that will be an issue. As far as Congress is concerned, as Irfan said, okay, it will sort of be a setback. It will take, they will not have that wherewithal. And that's precisely what BJP will try to do. Therefore, a lot of people are saying it doesn't matter which party gets the majority, but who actually forms the government. What BJP has done in Telangana, I think they will try. I don't know how they will manage the contradiction. They will still try to prop up BRS. If indeed some of these exit polls, what they're showing in Chhattisgarh, if they come that close, you don't know what's going to happen. At the end of the day.
Correct.
And it will be in their interest to keep Congress out, because Chhattisgarh is a cash cow for Congress just now. Madhya Pradesh, I told you, there are a lot of games afoot. And so if it doesn't become a sweep for Congress, you can again have the same story. Rajasthan, personally, I have my doubts what will happen. But as very succinctly somebody put to me when I was there, this is आखिर में सरकार तो वही बनाएगी जो वसुंधरा और गहलोत चाहेंगे. तो
it's a great line. तो मुकेश जी आप क्या कहेंगे? वसुंधरा और गहलोत क्या चाहेंगे?
जो एंटी इनकम्बेंसी की पूरी थ्योरी चल रही थी ना कि आजकल काम नहीं करती एंटी इनकम्बेंसी, तो उसमें ये है कि एंटी इनकम्बेंसी तो होती है, अच्छी खासी होती है. राजस्थान में भी थी. अशोक गहलोत सरकार के 10 मंत्री ऐसे थे जिनके खिलाफ भयानक गुस्सा था. कोई भ्रष्टाचार के मामले में था, कोई किसी ने कोई क्राइम किया था, कुछ किया था. भयानक गुस्सा था सरकार के खिलाफ. लेकिन अब क्या होता है कि जो मुख्यमंत्री होता है वो सारा कुछ अपने हाथ में रखता है और आखिरी 6 महीनों में इतनी सारी फ्री स्कीम्स और ये सब लाता है. फिर वो कहता है कि मेरे खिलाफ कोई एंटी इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है. जैसे गहलोत ने एक कार्यक्रम में कहा कि मैंने सुना है कि ऐसा कहा जा रहा है कि गहलोत तुझसे बेड़ नहीं, एमएलए मिनिस्टर तेरी खैर नहीं. तो आप वो सारी की सारी एंटी इनकम्बेंसी ले जाके आपके बाकी जो नुमाइंदे होते हैं उन पे डाल देते हैं और आप जितना बांट के 500 रुपए में सिलेंडर ये वो करके और आप बन जाते हैं एकदम नायक हीरो की तरह. तो एंटी इनकम्बेंसी का हाल ये है. दूसरी बात ये है कि सामने जो पार्टी होती है वो उस एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को तरीके से प्ले नहीं कर पाती. जैसे बीजेपी ने सही कहा कि राजस्थान में जिस तरह से उनको लड़ना चाहिए था और जो 5 साल में इश्यूज को उठाना चाहिए था वो नहीं उठाया. वसुंधरा राजे की अभी उन्होंने कहा कि उनको मौका नहीं दिया कि वो पूरे राजस्थान में घूमती. वसुंधरा राजे ने 50 सभाएं की राजस्थान में और अपने क्षेत्र में 1 या 2 की, बाकी पूरे दूसरे प्रत्याशियों के क्षेत्रों में की. लेकिन वो किसी अपनी पार्टी ने उसको पुश नहीं किया. वो उनका ओवरऑल वो है, उनका एम्बिशन है, उनकी टीम है. बहुत सारे कैंडिडेट ऐसे हैं जो वसुंधरा राजे के हैं. तो पूरे राजस्थान में घूमी, सबसे ज्यादा भीड़ भी उनकी सभाओं में आई. तो वसुंधरा पे
मुकेश जी मेरा एक सवाल है, अगर बीजेपी राजस्थान जीतती है तो क्या वसुंधरा राजे मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगी आपके एस्टिमेशन में?
अगर 100 के आसपास सीटें आती है तो वसुंधरा राजे मजबूरी बनेगी भाजपा की. वो मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगी और मजबूरी बनेगी क्योंकि आधे लोग उनके हैं और आप उनको कभी भी, जैसे अशोक गहलोत को कुर्सी नहीं छोड़ती, जैसा वो कहते हैं, वैसे ही वसुंधरा जो है वो राजस्थान की राजनीति से दूर नहीं होंगी. और अगर आपको कन्विक्शन एकदम कन्विंसिंग विक्ट्री आती है, 120 130 के आसपास आते हैं, तो फिर दिल्ली में बैठे 2 लोग तय करेंगे कि मुख्यमंत्री कौन बनेगा.
वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. तो अगर राजस्थान क्लोज विन रहता है बीजेपी के लिए तो वसुंधरा राजे बनेंगी क्योंकि उनके एमएलए की जरूरत होगी. लेकिन अगर हैंडसम विन रहता है तो फिर बात अलग हो सकती है. इसमें ये कोई नहीं सोच रहा कि कांग्रेस का कोई चांस है या नहीं. एवरीवन सीम्स टू एग्री दैट द एजेस विद द बीजेपी एक्सेप्ट संदीप who thinks that the BJP really botched their campaign in Rajasthan. Asif Bhamla, do you have a 30-second last comment? Then I'll take Manu to wrap up the numbers for us.
Let me tell you that there for Rajasthan there will be decisive gains in the Gujar votes for the BJP, and you will see that we are winning that hands down. There's anger for the pilot betrayal, and that's hurt a lot of congressmen in Rajasthan. And Raga scheme, let me tell you, have not been implemented in Rajasthan as much as they have been implemented maybe in Chhattisgarh also. But let me tell you, Chhattisgarh और तेलंगाना जिसमें आप लोगों ने भारतीय जनता पार्टी को एकदम राइट ऑफ किया है, वहां पर भी इनकम्बेंसी का हमको फायदा होगा. और एक लास्ट बात जाते जाते कहना चाहूंगा, इन राज्यों के चुनाव का असर कोई भी केंद्र के या आने वाले 2024 के लोकसभा चुनाव पे न होने वाला है, क्योंकि युग पुरुष के तौर पर लोगों ने मोदी जी को जाना है और आने वाले दिनों में वो एक विकासशील, एक विकसित भारत के लिए देश को पता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी और मोदी जी को लाना. तो इसके लिए इस चुनाव के रिजल्ट कोई भी हो, यहाँ तो आपके रिजल्ट्स ने बता ही दिया कि 2 बड़े राज्य मध्य प्रदेश और राजस्थान हमारे पक्ष में दिख ही रहे. लेकिन उसके बाद और बावजूद भी लास्ट टाइम हम चारों हार गए थे, लेकिन लोकसभा में हमने बहुमतों से जीता था. और इस बार फिर से देश में कमल मोदी जी और कमल खिलेगा और आप देखोगे कि एक विकासशील भारत.
जी, मैं ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि Asif Hamla is right that in 2018 the Congress did win these states of Madhya Pradesh.
All 4 seats we lost all, and people wrote us off. They said कि अभी तो आप गए.
But Telangana shows a different response in national service also. But we have to close. Manu Sharma, very quickly, the big picture. We're looking at the poll of polls of all 5 states. Very quickly, your takeaways.
I mean, one thing that's emerging pretty clear is that public digital infrastructure has empowered the chief ministers and the state governments to both promise and deliver schemes in the last 6 months. So what that does is that it adds credibility to the leadership that promises stuff in the closing, or I would say twilight of their term. Earlier, this never used to be the case. What used to happen was the government would promise, and if they win, they might deliver, they may not deliver. But this time around, that has happened, and that is what has effectively blunted the anti-incumbency in a lot of cases. With that, I would say that Madhya Pradesh would be very critical, because we have to remember that BJP might be facing quadruple anti-incumbency this time around. And if they get anywhere near to, let us say, a hung verdict, or perhaps go further than that, then that would be incredible, and it would have a lot of messages for everyone. But as of now, we feel that Congress has the edge there.
Okay, I'm going to say thank you to all of you. We'll see all of you on counting day. Remember, this is a health warning. These are the exit poll results, but the big picture looks something like this. A win forecast for the Congress in Telangana, a win forecast for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh, a confusing picture from Rajasthan with the edge to the BJP, and that is the big story coming out politically at this point. Chhattisgarh, a Congress win, but the BJP having significantly improved its performance. We'll leave it there, and we'll see all of you on counting day when the actual results and not the projected results are with us. Thank you for watching. See you there. Mojo's Story has always made a commitment to its viewers to go to where the story is. And as you can see here, we are at the epicenter of the Israel war on Gaza. We are right at the front line, about 1 mile from the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military gets ready with its tanks and its gunners to begin its final frontal assault that will take troops into Gaza. As we said, we are not like other organizations. We believe in giving you all sides of the story objectively and as much as possible from the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing here, covering the biggest global story today from the epicenter of the war zone. So please, we need your support. Support us, become a Mojo member, subscribe to us, spread the word, and thank you for your support.